I have to admit, there is something very peaceful about working on the tiny house really early in the morning. Now, I'm not a person who enjoys waking up early at all. I would much rather be waking up at about 9 in the morning. But when I do get up super early, you feel like you have got a bit of a head start on the day. And there's just nothing going on. There's no emails, there's no calls, no distractions. It's just really silent. The tiny house is pretty much watertight. It really is. All of the surrounds are mastic. Obviously, there is still a window missing in the bathroom, and I've got no floor, but we are in a good place right now. It is getting there. And I've been getting quite annoyed with myself because it feels like I'm making no progress, and I'll get to the tiny house, do 2 hours work, and I'll be like, wait, how have I done so little? But the important thing to remind yourself is it doesn't matter how little progress you make as long as you just keep turning up, because it's that compound effect, little and often. It really does progress projects along. No matter how tired you are, how much you can't be bothered to do something, just always keep turning up. And that actually just reminded me of a colleague I used to have who was painting his kitchen, and he had done one of the walls, he had painted part of it, and then like every week he would do basically like a meter squared of painting and then move on to the next bit. Basically, he was just being pathetic and he wasn't getting on with it. Eventually, after I'd heard this person say the same story 250 times, and honestly, the best thing about being self-employed is not listening to corporate office chat. I cannot stress to you how happy it makes me that I will never have to have one of those conversations again in my life. After hearing him talk about painting his kitchen so many times, I eventually just said to him, why don't you just tonight just finish doing it? And he goes, well, I don't really feel like it tonight, I'm a bit tired, you know. And I was just like, stop being pathetic, get on with it. And he goes, well, no, I don't really want to do it when I'm tired, because if I'm tired, I'm going to do a bad job of it. Now, for some of you, I'm sure that makes sense. However, for the rest of us, we all go, oh, you will never get that done. Because the thing is, with self-discipline and work ethic, you have to turn up, especially on the days that you don't want to. And in fact, I can almost guarantee 99% of the days you spend working on a project, you do not want to be there. I have not always been this type of person who has work ethic and discipline. I used to be pathetic. And eventually you get to a point where you're so fed up with listening to your own excuses that you go, do you know what, shut up, I'm going to go for it. I don't care what people are going to say, people are going to think. I don't care about the insecurities, the worries that I have about me going for X, Y, Z. I'm just going to go for it, because when you realize that life is extremely short, you can be crossing a road tomorrow and you can get absolutely munched by a bus, or you get dealt the worst hand in health and you get given 8 months to live. You are going to have a realization of what were you worrying about. You should have spent more time actioning things than listening to that BS, because look, it's always about just getting on with the work and actually actioning it. Because your dream, your vision will just remain that if you don't go for it. And you might be thinking, Chris, why are you ranting about this? All you're doing is building a tiny house. Yeah, but it's a little bit more than that, because I've bought this entire thing in cash. There's not many people my age who have done that, and there's not many people my age who have their own businesses, plural. I've got more than one. That's different, it's unique. I was walking through Knightsbridge the other day and I hear, oi, Chris Mush, what are you doing? And I crap myself because I'm like, I recognise that voice, and it was an Amazon delivery driver. And I looked at him and he started talking to me, and I was looking at him going, I recognise you, but I don't know where from. And small world, it was a guy that I grew up with who I used to go to the skate park with. And I used to spend most days with this person, and I'm not just having a sly dig and being like, oh, look at me, I'm achieving my dreams and this person that I grew up with isn't. I'm not being sly about it, I'm saying that is exactly what I mean. I'm stood talking to someone who was getting better grades than me at school, but he got heavily involved in drugs. His front teeth are gone, and meeting him ruined my entire afternoon in one way, and that was I could not stop thinking what went wrong for him. And again, that sounds like I'm being really negative, because I'm sure there's a lot of you lot who do jobs like a delivery driver or whatever. Everyone's got to start somewhere, but unless you love that job, I don't want you to think that's all you're capable of, because if I had that sort of mindset, I would still be a labourer earning no money. And that story is very different to the storyline that my life's becoming right now. Looking back at those times, it was the most unhappy I ever was, because I just felt like a piece of crap. I did. I know there's people out there who love these sorts of jobs, but I personally, it's my life, I felt like I was a loser. I was earning no money, I couldn't afford to do any of the things I enjoyed, and I always felt stressed because money would come in and it would go. Which, when you're in business, it's kind of the same scenario, but the numbers are a little bit bigger, so it makes you feel better, and therefore that money gives you a sense of security, which I can't even tell you how good it feels. When you get past 10 grand in savings, it will completely change your world. The reason I talk like this is because I interact with an aggressive amount of people. I got a message the other day from somebody who works at a fuel station. He hit the word limiter on how much you can send in a direct message on Instagram, and the gist of the message, without getting into the personal stuff, was, I am lost, I don't know what to do, I'm panicking, I'm miserable, what am I doing? I hate my job, I don't enjoy how my life is going. And I sent quite a large message back, but the gist of it was, I think the issue stems from the fact that he knows that he's got a 3 output process job. He's standing there, so he's literally getting only paid for his time and not what he knows. All he says all day is pump number 5, cash your card, do you want a receipt? Have a nice day. That is it. Every single interaction is that statement. It's sort of like a till job. If you're working next to a self-checkout machine, you should be panicking because your job has got a time limit. I went in Decathlon the other day. You just drop the item of clothing into the basket and it somehow knows what item that was, and therefore it's like the easiest self-checkout machine I've ever used. Those sorts of jobs will continue to disappear, and then with the introduction of AI, the jobs like the trades, like a carpenter, a plumber, a plasterer, all of these things, they're going to get more and more valuable. I can almost guarantee that if you picked a trade or a job doing something instead of just standing there, you will find yourself feeling like you're achieving something. And then the issue that will occur is you'll go, oh, I don't really earn that much doing this sort of thing. Well, how many vans have you seen with plumber written on it? Plasterer, electrician, swimming pool cleaning, window cleaning, all of these jobs that are services. You do not want to work for somebody else, you want to own that business, and therefore you've got a direct output on your income. What I mean by that is if you get fed up with not earning a lot of money, you can put way more effort in and get a direct reward from that. More time spent doing your trade, it's going to result in more money. You have control, and control is what creates freedom. And there's actually a process. I think that's why I love the building industry so much, is there is a million different niches within it. For example, you could get someone who's an absolute expert in lead work. I mean, if you've ever seen people who are exceptionally good at using lead and then welding lead, it's amazing to watch. Those people will do a course in it, then they'll get their qualification, then they get a job, then they go, do you know what, I think I could do this on my own. Then they get their own van and it all grows. Now there's no guarantee of success in it, but there's one thing that I can guarantee you is you are going to learn an immense amount from that process, and you might find something that you enjoy. And that opportunity to find something that you enjoy is better than the opportunity of staying exactly where you are, because remember, if all fails, you can go back to exactly where you were. You can go back to the fuel station. If tomorrow I go bankrupt, which is likely, and I put everything that I own up for sale, I'm going to be able to get a job in B&Q. I'm going to be able to rent a small flat. Nothing bad can happen. Obviously, there's some people watching this right now who will have kids, and yes, that makes things more challenging, but there are unbelievable examples of people who are single parents who grow amazing businesses. Now, I'm conscious I've spoken in quite an aggressive manner, but the truth is, it is exactly what I needed when I was younger, when my brother basically went to me, Chris, you're messing your life up, turn it around, sort it out. That is how I talk to you lot, how my brother spoke to me, and I, right now, am living my absolute dream life. I wouldn't change a single thing. And sure, there's stressful moments, both time and money-wise. As I said, the last few months, I've earned the least amount of money that I have ever earned. And that creates a worry. You feel like you're doing bad, but I've got to bring it back to the reality. I've got a roof over my head, sort of. I have got a roof on the tiny house. It's just not really a house yet. I've got 18 days to move in, which I do agree with you lot who are saying it's very unrealistic, Chris. You're not going to be able to move in that time. And the thing a lot of you don't understand is I have no choice. I have to move in on the 1st of January. When your back's up against the wall, you really do have to fight or flight type thing, send it and see what happens. Now, speaking about stress and all of that stuff, I've now got to write this week's newsletter. If you haven't signed up to it, click the link in the description. Sign up now. You will not regret it. Trust, I'm explaining every single thing about my world and all of the tools and information that allowed me to grow a business and a life that resulted in me leaving a day job that I despised and pursuing something that, yes, I'm quite financially stressed at the moment, but I am still really enjoying what I'm doing. And I do just want to say thank you to all of the support recently, all the likes, subscribes, it's incredible. So thanks for watching, and as always, I will see you